you change the world. The power of authenticity is our theme, even for 15 minutes. I just wanted to introduce the topic. And introduce is maybe not the right word because I think I speak about this all the time. It's in my mind all the time. And maybe it's a little bit of an obsession or a reaction to what we see around us every single day. So you can see, as I just always have to give you a little bit of maintenance here, of housekeeping, it's not maintenance, to talk about the streaming, to about the podcast. So live streaming on multiple channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and others, and about podcast on Spotify and others. And all these places are available for constant, availabilities of content for you to watch, to see, to experience. And we'd like to again invite you to subscribe on YouTube, please. This is something I will never stop asking because it's extremely important to us. And finally, when you have a comment, and I really invite you to participate that way, not to hesitate to use the chat. We can see the chat on the side of me, on the right side of me here, right for me, maybe left for you. And wherever you are, welcome. And thank you to be here because it's a very important place when we talk about changing the world. Maybe it's a little bit also a little bit ambitious that we think we have answers about changing the world. The world needs to be changed, right, in so many ways. But coaching that I do or practice every day, or mediation, is an incredible opportunity to see the experiences of people that are in the workplace or live personal challenges. And through the coaching, by just watching, by listening, by dialoguing in conversations that are just meant to make people grow, meant to see people with clarity and have them eventually touch on things that are essential for them, that just they might miss, or when they speak, there is a non-spoken that I can just listen to, because this is what coaching is about. And thank you really for all of those that are trusting the process, because this is an incredible tool. I think with the years, it evolved and evolved and evolved, thanks to technology, today some artificial intelligence, but also all the resources that we can access, examples, benchmarks, assessments, 360s, feedbacks, so that people can understand more and more how they impact people, how they have influenced people. And what changes the world really is when you change someone's life. And I think that every single person on this planet, billions of people that we are, each of us can impact the world, can impact someone's life, can make it better, can really impact, and inspire. And leadership is definitely about that. It's not about directing in a very kind of empiric way, and authoritative way. It doesn't work anymore. All the emerging generations will never accept or welcome this kind of tonality or behavior. The posture of a leader today is coaching, is listening, is supporting, is to be the servant leader, to be really there to support and to provide the resources for people to be productive. So now that I said that, what is the authenticity and the truth is coming to say into this conversation today? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I really think that it's an electrifying topic. That in coaching and other opportunities to meet people and listen to them, we can be absolutely thrilled to dive deep into the topic that strikes at the core of every leader's journey: the power of authenticity, crushing the threat of it's crushing the threat to personal values. That's what I think it does. When it's not authentic, or our personal values are at stake, it's because something triggers our conscience and our values. We have been, we come from a long way, even if we're 2 years old, 5 years old. It's all that we are experiencing in our way of being educated, the culture where we grow, and all those values are building up and building up. Why would we jeopardize that? Why would we make ourselves vulnerable to this extent that we will compromise the values? People do that in politics, unfortunately. And or they think or they live with the habit, and once it's a habit, it becomes part of them. of getting things in a way that is artificial, has been set by someone else or by an agenda or by a group of people, and it can be a political party, it can be an ideology, whatever this is, the influence of it is definitely toxic. So that's going to be on the way of someone to be authentic. It's going to be on the way of someone to be efficient. So lying is the opposite of truth, right? Someone is going to create a narrative for an agenda, for a reason, for a political reason, for example. And we see this these days more than any time, maybe in the world, in the history of mankind. And we cannot take this and accept it because it's unacceptable. And and the world is filled with complexities and with intrigues of that kind. We are all familiar with the pitfalls of politics. We are, and the perilous path of lying, because you know, fear not. Today, leaders, we can unravel the secrets to navigate treacherous waters and unwavering authenticity by connecting to our core and say, well, there's nothing to be ashamed of when I'm opening myself to someone. Of course, I can calculate a little bit, be intentional so that the moment is a quality moment, so that I also preserve sensitivities and put the right form into what I say. But why creating a narrative or an untrue narrative? Why trying to tweak things and twist things around and make people believe something or create an illusion? This is why I think this is deceiving. This is a deceit, and and it is extremely difficult. So there is a deception, and it's a deceptive web that is really always weaving and weaving the wrong vibes, the wrong tonality, the wrong language. So I think that the path to greatness doesn't lie in this kind of deception, but in the real realm of authenticity. I think that greatness is to be brave about it, is to be courageous, it's to embrace truth and really embrace it entirely without any kind of hesitation. To speak with unshakable honesty and to embody your true values in anything you do, right, can give you an incredible, a magnetic posture that really draws people closer to you. And there is so much to gain in this attitude. So I thought that just launching this topic would not take more than 15 minutes. And this is why we are going to have a short one today. I had a cancellation from a guest that really I was waiting very much to have and share this podcast with. So that person will come in a few weeks. But as I'm here alone in front of you with this microphone, I wanted to share one quote, one wisdom from Mahatma Gandhi. And he says that truth never damages a cause that is just. Truth never damages a cause that is just. Now, of course, there's a judgment behind this. He thinks the cause is just. So, of course, the truth will never damage it. So there is already a bias to some extent if you would see it that way. I'm thinking that he was not thinking about the judgment of something being just as a judgment, but as a true fact. I see someone who is tall or small. I see something that is true or untrue. I think something that is just or the opposite of just, unreasonable. So wisdom is definitely this kind of leadership we need. The root of leadership, ideally, could be wisdom. But to have a lens, to see the world through the lens of truth, of authenticity, to create a space of trust with people that we're dealing with every single day, every single minute, and to use psychological safety, that's how we call it, where we make sure that people are inspired by us because we inspire truth and because we inspire trust. How can you otherwise have any impact, or even if it's with your own children, have the possibility to educate them or to inspire them? And this is not going to be by punishing them, by blaming them, by not complimenting. And in fact, I will finish on this. Many times this week and last week, we were talking about cultural differences. If I was educated in Europe, for example, and this is my case, I think that if I would bring a good grade back home, or if I would say something very valuable in class, it would be very rare to hear a compliment about it. But if I would make a mistake, or if I would bring a bad grade, then definitely I would get the punishment for it. This is something that many people come from. And then when it comes to a country like the US, where the essence of education is to compliment, is to always start with a positive note, to flatter, to make sure that the child gains confidence and certainly never loses it in himself or in herself. This is really what we want to do in our influence, in the way we impact people. So changing the world, changing people's lives in a positive way, having the right impact as leaders or as friends to friends, as relatives to relatives, as parents to children, that all the different interactions that we have, if we tolerate and accept any kind of toxicity, untruth, or negativity into this relationship, we spoil it all. So I wanted to go just back to the basics and invite and hopefully inspire you to think about a situation you had today when you didn't really know what to do or what to trust, or if you self generated a lie or something that was really far from being true, because you didn't have any other ideas, or because you function in an environment where you think there is no other way to function. This is why I'm saying, if we are authentic and stick to our core and stay connected with that core value that we have, then nothing will be compromised and will be completely reliable. That's why I invite everybody of you to think of these words and to think of this concept. And again, come back to this really often, because it comes back every single day. And also mention something about it to someone, if you could. Make sure that we can make a forum over here, maybe to have you come and join me in this studio and share your experiences. If this would not be only, in fact, one theme for this program, that would be just about that. I think that of any topic we have discussed here, and they were very interesting, but this one, I think, is one of the core foundation of what would change the world in a very, very good way, where there is a real life insurance and a guarantee, and you can really say it loud and clear, to success. Because if people stay authentic and trust each other, then you create really a community, you create a circle, you create a space where people can really interact, be productive, and succeed. I will finish on these words, and hopefully we'll see each other next week with a guest this time. And thank you very much for joining for these few minutes today.